Okay, we're looking at the Golden Fluid Acrylic CT Interference Blue Green or Green Blue acrylic paints. So let's take a look. Debating doing these for Space Marines, just a custom Space Marine chapter. So here's what we got. Doing the base first, then in one case 2 coats, but most of them are just a medium coat as opposed to one that got 3 coats on it. So let's look at a basic black marine. So there we go. Just basic black coat. Black really took well to this stuff. Sort of difficult to see the transition of blue to green. It's much more green than blue. It sort of goes greenish gold to a sort of blue-green, but I do definitely like the effect. But that was the least amount of color difference. Now the next one is going to be a red base. Now in this case I did a super thin coat just to see if I'd like it around the shoulder blades. It's, as you can see, it just picks up a touch of sheen on it. That little bit of green. I did not do the head or the chest to show the contrast. Only did one of the legs, but that's harder to see. Well, I did the bottom part of the leg. I did not do the top part of the leg. Then this is the thinner coats. This is 2 coats. You still see the red. This may be the winner. We've got the red. You can definitely see the red from certain angles, the green from certain angles. Again, the bluish green from certain angles. That is 2 coats. There's the focus. Alright. Then we've got, this might be a little much. This is a 3 coats. You can barely see the red, but you can see the green really well. It does start to take on the blue as you get to the 3rd coat. Different methods that the lighting makes it look. Still think the 2 might be the way because you can just see a little more red in it. The next was just a dark gray, but still a gray coat over the black. So with that gray, put it over it, and I did like, you can see a lot more of the blues in it with the gray as opposed to the black. So if I really wanted to show off the color change and still have a more basic color without a background color, probably recommend doing it as a dark gray first. So like I said, this actually came out pretty well for the color change. Next one was on a silver. That's base gunmetal gray. That's the base. Again, medium thickness coat over it. It just doesn't show up very well on this reflective paint. It gives it a little bit of a sheen. You can very obviously tell the difference between that guy and him. They looked identical before. It does give his armor a little more depth, just not quite what I was looking for. So probably not going to go with that, but hey, if you like the color, that's the way to go. And did a dark blue, much darker than an ultramarine blue, more of a different color. I don't like painting chapter marines. And sort of like what this one turned out. If I don't do the red, this might be the way. This is just a quick 2 coats, but they were fairly thin. This you can really see, obviously with the blue, the base, but then in the right light, when the light hits it, it looks green from one angle, blue from another angle. Just what you want with that transition paint. And just for funsies, I did this was an eBay bought model, but it was base coated in ultramarine blue, so I gave his armor a little bit of it, and you can barely even tell it's on. There's a little bit in the right, with bright light on it, you can see a little bit of flex, but again, just that light colored paint does not seem to make it show off too great. But ultimately, like I said, I generally think I like these two best. The darker blue or the darker like crimson red. They both do good transition. It's darker colors. I definitely would recommend this over a dark background. But there we go.